Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Ebben with a WBZ News update. Our top stories: the smell of what appeared to be gas forced evacuations at the Pine Grove Elementary School. Sky Eye was over the school as police, fire, and National Grid workers were there in Rowley. Rowley Fire says crews didn't find a gas leak, so now they think the smell might have come from the HVAC system. The school's back in session. The AC unit has been shut down. Ambulances were called to the scene, but no reports of any injuries. Police in Quincy are out with a warning after a rise in drug overdoses over the weekend. Police say within 24 hours, they responded to 4 confirmed overdoses involving several drugs mixed with fentanyl and even xylazine, which is used to sedate or euthanize animals. None of the overdoses were deadly, but police say they are actively working to track down those responsible. They're also urging parents to talk to children about the dangers, as well as those who have loved ones suffering with drug addiction. An armed robbery suspect is in custody after a standoff. Police say about 10:30 last night, officers went to an apartment on Seaver Street in Dorchester to question a man about Saturday afternoon's robbery in that area. They say Andrew Singleton was armed and barricaded himself inside. The SWAT team arrived and, after some negotiations, forced its way into the apartment to arrest the 38-year-old. Still cloudy out there. When is the sun coming out? Let's get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Zack.
Taking a trip up into the Granite State, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, seeing, whoa, what is that? Blue sky. Yes, finally the sun has pulled through and the clouds have dispersed over in the Monadnock region, the sea coast, and now slipping a little farther to the south for those in the northern side of the Commonwealth. 58 degrees right now in Portsmouth, and most locations are stalled in the upper 50s and low 60s, and there's not going to be much movement from here. The winds are drained out of the northeast. That helps to disperse the cloud cover, but it also gives a little bite to the air, especially if you're by the water. And there's still a few showers in the mix out down to the southern side of Worcester County. You see these light speckles seemingly popping up from Douglas to Uxbridge, Oxford included too. Windshield wipers just to get those drops out of the way, and we should be doing just fine. Another little ribbon coming out of Narragansett Bay. That's sort of subsiding and sliding farther to the south as well. So over time, not only will the rain clear up, but we're going to have the clouds move out of the way too. As mentioned, no additional number change. We're going to be back into the low and mid 60s for nearly everyone, and those winds by the water are going to be rather brisk. We'll see those gusts around 30 miles per hour. How about 35 right now out towards Nantucket? 24 miles per hour in Plymouth, met there in Provincetown too, and above that point to the south coast. The closer to the water you are, the worse it will be. So how are we getting indications out towards Worcester? Well, that gauge is 1,000 feet in elevation, so it gives a little bit of bias here and there. These will subside through the rest of the afternoon, and by the evening, everything seems to calm down. So for first pitch over at Fenway Park, no rain delays, no cancellations, no postponements like we've had in previous stretches. We'll be able to get this game in, even though we are mathematically no longer in the playoffs, but we can still enjoy Fenway for what it's worth. Wednesday, the matinee game going to be back into the mid to upper 60s. A nice boost tomorrow afternoon as we get all the clouds to move out of the way, and we will be bone dry over a 48-hour window. The difference is tomorrow morning, whoa, are we going to be chilly. Many locations are going to be into the low 40s. Some may actually spill into the upper 30s as those winds do slow down, but relatively short-lived. So a warmer jacket for the kids at the bus stop. Maybe start the car up a minute or two early. I know it's probably the first time this season we're going to use those words, but mid to upper 60s by midday, and that's pretty much where we're going to land as we go into the middle of the afternoon. Thursday's a rinse and repeat scenario. Friday, this wave is going to lose grip and we get another round of energy. From one model's output, it's saying that we get a slog of moisture from Friday afternoon into Friday evening. This is the same energy that was actually bringing us the drenching scenario from this past weekend. It just kind of arrives and returns back to southern New England. But there is another camp, and that's the one that I'm leaning towards. Another ridge of high pressure out of the northwest, helping to scour out and force a lot of this offshore to the southeast. If that's the case, we get brighter skies, we get warmer temperatures, not just the end of the week, but the upcoming weekend too. So this is a snapshot at 5 p.m. where we have to be vigilant about outdoor plans, but I'm anticipating there to be some improvement over the next day or two when we kind of fine tune and see where this thing goes. Saturday afternoon in the 70s, Sunday afternoon close to 80 degrees. If you're looking for an absolute winner, the second half of the weekend is your best bet.
I'm Paula Ebben. This has been a WBZ News Update.